I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, here we go. Mark Nelson, Gerald Poole on the front row. Jess Chambers, Derek Schilling on the second row. Warren Moore, Jeff Oakes have the third row. Kevin Bruner, Rod Potgieter on the fourth row. Tim St. Jean and Clinton Chambers round out the top 10. Jerry Bergeron starting in 11th. Kenny Passmore in 12th. Mike Burgess in 13th. Mike Harris in 14th. Danny Passmore starting in 15th. And James Lacey rounding out the 16-car field here at Martinsville. Cowboy, I'll definitely be watching that tomorrow. Been very interested in that. Hey, good evening, good evening, Kenny. All the drivers begin their pace laps, 2 laps around the track. The track is very flat, very hard to pass. "12 degrees of banking in the turns," and that is up by the wall. It is just hard to pass here. Hey, good evening to Kevin Reed. Pace car is in. Mark Nelson leads them through 3 and 4. Definitely going to see the bump and run here tonight.
Here we go. Green flag. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
They're underway, and it looked like Mark Nelson had a problem on the start. Couldn't get the power down. Now Gerald Poole up to the wall. Holy cow, they got that getting spicy already as Jess Chambers looks underneath. Rod Potgieter already up 2 spots into 6, and Jeff Oakes already on the move. Well, Kevin, I certainly hope to see you out here next week, buddy. Mark Nelson finally got the power down and is away out front. Jess Chambers has cleared into second, but Jeff Oakes, who's been charging through the points the last few weeks, now up to third. Derek Schilling in 4th, Gerald Thanos Poole in 5th, Rod Potgieter now up to 6th. Kevin Bruner in 7th, Warren Moore losing some ground back in 8th. Clinton Chambers back to 9th, and Jerry Bergeron in 10th. Make that 9th for Jerry Bergeron as he shoots underneath. Clinton tried to make the move back under, but couldn't get it on exit. Mark has a 6/10 of a second lead, but Jeff Oakes is looking underneath Jess Chambers. Jess is around. Caution is out for the first time on lap 5. There's Jeff Oakes right behind as they go off into 3 and 4. Oh, there may have been some contact there. Jess was trying to keep the door shut on Jeff Oakes here, but Jeff gets deeper into the turn. pushes up as Chambers tries to come down. Cowboy, I may be very interested in getting that. It's on my list. Mark Nelson still has the lead. Jeff Oakes, who started in 6th, now up into 2nd. These are the two battling for the title right now. 1 point apart coming into tonight. Derek Schilling now up into 3rd. Gerald Poole lost some ground early, back to 4th. Rod Potgieter up 3 spots into 5th. Kevin Bruner now up to 6th. Warren Moore in 7th. Jerry Bergeron now up into 8th. Clinton Chambers in 9th, and Mike Burgess has broke into the top 10, now in 10th. They stack back up for the restart. Mark Nelson had problems getting that car going at the start of this race. Hopefully he's got some heat in it in the tires and will have some grip this time when he fires. Into the zone they go, and away they go. Green flag in the air. Holy cow, Schilling. It looked like Mark may have had a problem again. Schilling got into his bumper and he got a little squirrely. Meanwhile, Jeff Oakes has taken off. Gerald Poole fought his way back into 3rd. Bruner went to the high side and was briefly 3 wide. Bruner now slipping back into 7th. It looked like he might have had something going on the high side. It is so hard to pass up top here. Caution is back out. Danny Passmore involved. Danny has towed it to pit road. Let's see what happened. It looks like there was another incident back behind, but Danny just drifts it. It did look like Danny's engine may have blown. Take a look at Jess Chambers. They come out at 1 and 2. Oh, he came down and got into Danny just a little bit. Banged off a couple of cars into the wall, but saves it. Jeff Oakes has the lead, but now Mark Nelson will restart on the high side. Restarts have been killing Mark here tonight. Can he do better up top? Jess Chambers did go to pit road. He is back out on track. Mike Harris officially out of the race. And Danny Passmore, we saw, got towed to pit road. His engine blew. Not sure if he will be able to get back out on track tonight. Jeff Oaks leading now. This is exactly what Oaks needs to do to win the title. Keep that car in front of Mark Nelson. Mark had a 1-point lead over Jeff Oaks coming into tonight. Now they are side by side once again up front. Hayes' car is in. Out of turn 4, they head toward the restart zone. They are in. Oaks fires, they are away. Green is in the air. Mark is able to launch it this time. No problems on the restart, but he is stuck up high. Finally clears Gerald Poole down to the bottom. Meanwhile, Potgieter on the attack. Looking underneath Derek Schilling, trying to take 4th. Kevin Bruner down underneath Warren Moore through 1 and 2. And Bruner now to 6th. Jerry Bergeron also starting to make his way forward. He is up to 9th. Mike Burgess right behind him, up into 10th. Jeff Oaks starting to pull away little by little on Mark Nelson. Gerald Poole sits in 3rd. Derek Schilling in 4th has put some space between him and Rod Potgieter now in 5th. Remember, the drivers will have to make a pit stop for fuel here tonight. Gerald Poole sitting in 3rd, Derek Schilling in 4th, Ron Potgieter in 5th. Kevin Bruner now up to 6th on Potgieter's bumper. Derek Schilling still able to hold on to 4th after that battle on the restart. Now sits right behind Gerald Thanos Poole. Oh, Thanos goes a little bit wide. Schilling just could not get the run into the turn. Mark Nelson has closed back up on the leader, Jeff Oaks. Clinton Chambers starting to make his way up toward Warren Moore. Jerry Bergeron, the defending champ, all over the back bumper of Clinton Chambers at the moment, and has Mike Burgess right behind him. Once the tires really start showing some wear, we'll know who has been conserving the best. Cars will start slipping through the turns. Mike Burgess trying to close back up on Jerry Bergeron. Burgess started back in 13th up to 10th. Rock Potgieter for the moment able to hold Bruner off. Bruner had gotten right to his bumper, but Potgieter has put a little space between them. We've got a car slowed down on the bottom. That is Jess Chambers. Jess going wide through 1 and 2, letting everybody get back by. Jess Chambers currently 2 laps down. Looking down from the blimp, and things are going to get hairy before too much longer. For the leaders, James Lacey in 13th is not that far ahead of Jeff Oakes. Once the leaders start getting into lap traffic, it'll bring guys like Derek Schilling, who is now in 3rd, Gerald Poole in 4th, and Rod Potgieter in 5th, closer and closer, as Tim St. Jean has had a problem and caution is back out. And everybody should be within their fuel window. Tim St. Jean heads off into turn 3, gets a little bit of the curbing and it sends him around. Gathers it up quickly, but loses ground and brings out the caution. Jeff Oakes choosing to stay out. Kevin Bruner choosing to stay out. Mark Nelson leads the rest of the field to pit road. Jess Chambers also choosing to stay out. I do believe it's going to give Jess the lucky dog. Nope, Jess is going to come back into pit road. Remember, this league does not have a fast repair, so they have to do everything manually on pit road. Mike Burgess still sitting on pit road getting repairs, as is Jess Chambers. Everybody else out on track. Only the top 2 have stayed out. Everybody else 4 tires and fuel. With the cautions, can Jeff Oakes and Kevin Bruner conserve fuel, make it to the end? It would not be the first time we have seen that happen. Derek Schilling came off pit road in 3rd, Mark Nelson in 4th, Gerald Poole in 5th, Rod Potgieter in 6th, Warren Moore 7th, Jerry Bertrand now in 8th, Clinton Chambers in 9th, and Kenny Passmore up to 10th. If this strategy works, Jeff Oakes may be able to credit this move, this moment, with a championship. Everybody stacks back up side by side, ready to go. Pace car is in as they come through 3 and 4. Jeff Oakes in control of the restart. Here he goes. They fire. The outside line does not get going. Kevin Bruner having trouble on the restart has got Mark Nelson stuck. Now Mark shoots the gap as Bruner goes high into 3 and 4. Jeff Oakes, Derek Schilling trying to put some space in there. Mark Nelson now coming underneath Bruner, finally clears into 4th. Oakes unable to pull away from the fresh tires on Derek Schilling. Mark Nelson right to the back bumper of Gerald Thanos Poole. Rod Potgieter finally coming by Bruner. Warren Moore clears under Bruner as well. Clinton Chambers comes by. Bruner has gone from 2nd to 8th in just a few laps. Schilling now looking to the high side on the leader. Mark Nelson has moved up into 3rd, has gotten past Gerald Thanos Poole. Schilling could not make the move. Jeff Oakes goes wide through 1 and 2. Schilling gets by and Mark Nelson gets underneath. Derek Schilling to the lead for the first time tonight. And it looks like Derek Schilling only took right side tires on pit road. Can he hold off 4 fresh tires of Mark Nelson? Jeff Oakes got a little of the curb, almost lost it. Thanos gets by. Rod Potgieter now looking to Oakes' back bumper. As Jeff Oakes gets back by, takes 3rd place from Gerald Poole. Kevin Bruner has continued to fall back, is now back in 11th. Hey, good evening, Sketch. How's it going, buddy? Angie will have the convoy up and be in Discord in about 10 minutes there, Sketch. Mark Nelson, Derek Schilling battling it out for the lead. Jeff Oakes 2 seconds back. Ron Potgieter back up into 4th and on the attack. Gerald Poole back to 5th as Warren Moore all over the bumper. Clinton Chambers now up into 7th. Looked like Clinton Chambers may have gotten a little bit of the outside wall there, and as your Kevin Bruner saying pre-race, none of these cars will look the same after tonight. All these cars will have some scuffs and scratches down the right side at minimum. Jeff Oakes still maintains 3rd, but unable to close the gap. On the top 2, Mark Nelson's going to try and go for it up top. Schilling, oh goodness, Mark Nelson gets loose out of 4. Mark tried to get the power put down, but up on that high side at this track, it is so tricky. Now he's got to run Schilling back down. That did allow Jeff Oakes to close in. As Gerald Poole did look to the high side on Potgieter. And in the past we have seen, here we go, Warren Moore looks underneath Thanos. We have seen drivers make moves up top here in the past, but it is rare. We have seen nobody successfully make a high side pass tonight. Derek Schilling's lead shrinking again. Mark Nelson reeling it back in. Jeff Oakes falls back over 2 seconds back. Rod Potgieter, Gerald Poole closing back in on Jeff Oakes. Warren Moore now in 6th. James Lacey, who started back in 16th, now up 4 spots into 12th. Lacey has been just able to coast it so far tonight and stay in the fight. Derek Schilling, Mark Nelson out front by 2.5 seconds. Jeff Oakes holds 3rd. Potgieter in 4th as Gerald Poole in 5th on his bumper. Jerry Bergeron is now coming by. Jerry up to 6th. Kenny Passmore now up to 7th. Warren Moore has drifted back to 9th place. See what happened? Oh, Warren got way loose up onto the curbing. And everybody on the front straightaway just manages to slip by. Warren Moore lost a lot of ground. "20 laps to go, next time by." Sketch, it does sound like you have had a busy week, buddy. Mark Nelson looks back to the high side, but doesn't make the move there. Last time by, Jeff Oakes actually gained a little ground on the top 2. Rod Potgieter in 4th, not gaining any ground. Jeff Oakes having a really impressive run despite the old tires. Caution! Caution is back out with 19 to go. Warren Moore involved in this one. Coming out of turn 4 down the front straightaway towards turn 1. Sends it into 1 and the back end just goes around. Gets it up on the curbing and tows it to pit road. Warren Moore was up there battling in the top. Jeff Oakes is staying out again. Tim St. Jean also staying out. Everybody else is on pit road. This was oh no, Jeff Oakes is now into pit road, but Tim St. Jean is staying out. Mark Nelson back out, will be in second. Tim took tires on that last stop. It looks like Mark took right sides and fuel only. Derek Schilling back up in 3rd. Gerald Poole in 4th. Tim St. Jean might actually have a shot here. Now Tim St. Jean is in pit road. The lead will cycle back to Mark Nelson. Hey, good evening, Tess. Jeff Oaks finally pitted and comes back out in 10th. He did take 4 tires. Mark Nelson, the only driver that did not take 4 fresh Goodyears. Will right sides only be enough? I've heard a lot of drivers saying recently that the right sides only have been a huge, huge help. At some of these tighter tracks, it really helps the car rotate through the middle of the turn. They stack back up for the restart. Mark Nelson has had problems on every restart tonight. Can he get the clean one when it matters most? Out of turn 4 into the restart zone they go. Green flag back in the air. Mark gets away clean this time. Gerald Poole shoots the gap under Schilling to take second. Schilling fights back on the high side. And Derek Schilling pulls it back into second. Rod Potgieter now up to 4th though on the attack. Defending champ Jerry Bergeron now up into 5th. Kevin Bruner back out on fresh tires, moving forward again, up to 7th. Tim St. Jean currently running in 10th, also back on fresh Goodyears. Jeff Oaks also back out on fresh tires, but stuck in traffic as Bruner continues to battle with Kenny Passmore. Ten laps to go. Caution! Caution is back out. It looks like Derek Schilling around in 1 and 2 with 10 to go. There's Derek coming out of turn 4 down the front straightaway, leaning on the wall just a little bit. Oh, the back end just steps out. We talked about, oh, Gerald Poole just barely misses it. That is what happens if you get too much rear brake bias and drive in a little too deep. We talked about it in pre-race with Kevin Bruner. He said a lot of drivers try and drive it in there deep, but if the brake bias is too far back, you get on the brakes, the back end will step out. Derek Schilling has gone to pit road. That moves Gerald Poole now up to 2nd, and Rod Potgieter now up into 3rd. Rod has been on a charge all night, up 5 spots, but right behind him, Jerry Bergeron up 4 spots, or up 7 spots rather, into 4th. Clinton Chambers having a great run tonight as well, up 5 spots into 5th. Kenny Passmore also a big mover, up 6 spots into 5th. And we talked about James Lacey earlier, just keeping it clean and consistent. And keeping it out of trouble. He is now in 10th. James Lacey started in 16th, now runs in 10th. A great night for him. As I believe we will restart with 5 laps to go. No, we will restart, it looks like, with 4 to go. Yeah, lights are still on the pace car, so they'll get the 1 to green next time by. Hey, good evening, Chuck. How are you doing, buddy? Mark could use the positive vibes here. He has had problems on restarts tonight as Gerald Poole pulls up to the outside. They stack back up for the restart. They will fire off with 4 laps to go. Pace car is in. This likely will be the final restart. Out of turn 4. Into the restart zone. Green flag in the air. They fire in our way. Mark clears. The outside line stacks up. There's a wreck on the front stretch. A big one into 1 and 2. Caution. It looked like Gerald Poole may have had a problem getting going. The whole outside line stacked up and chaos. Here they come down the front. Oh, the 07 stacks up and Clinton Chambers gets on the power. The car goes around. Kevin Bruner down there to the inside, right behind him. When he shifts gears, it just snaps. Catches Bruner. Bruner catches Oaks. Oaks and Bruner both straighten it out. And Tim St. Jean right behind all of this did not fare nearly as well. He checked up but had nowhere to go, nor did Derek Schilling. We will get a green-white checkered here. Glad to hear you're doing better, Chuck. So a green-white checkered here at Martinsville. Things are going to get spicy here. Mark Nelson out front, but Rod Potgieter now in second place, up 6 spots. He has been on the move all night. Gerald Poole will restart in third, and Jerry Bergeron in fourth, Kenny Passmore in fifth. Both drivers up 7 spots here tonight. Biggest mover of the night, though, up 9 spots now into 7th. James Lacey has just kept that car out of trouble and moved forward all night long. And you Mark Nelson fans will definitely want to tune back in shortly after the broadcast. Angie will have the HTSAI Community Convoy up and running. Mark Nelson will be there. Hopefully he will have some new dad jokes prepared for tonight. If not, I may have gotten a few new ones today I have on standby. The Mark Nelson Rod Potgieter about to battle it out here. It'll be 2 to go at the line. Into the restart zone. Green flag flies. They are away. Mark clears into one. Gerald Poole looks under Potgieter. Caution is back out. Another incident into turn one. Kenny Passmore and Jeff Oakes both involved. We will get another green-white checkered. You know it's going to get bumpy at Martinsville. Oh, Jeff Oakes bumps into Bergeron, and then it all breaks loose. And watch this. Keep an eye on James Lacey in that 45 car. He gets a little bit of it this time. It's the first time he's been caught in it all night. But thanks to using Derek Schilling as essentially a Nerf bar, he actually picks up a couple of spots and is now in 7th. Remember, most of the field, 4 fresh tires on that last stop. Mark Nelson took right sides only. Has had a couple of restarts on them. Do they have enough left in them? Mike Burgess out of the race. Mike Harris, Danny Passmore out of the race. Clinton Chambers still sits on pit road. Jeff Oakes also back on pit road for repairs on his way back out. Oakes still holds 9th place at the moment. But as they run, that gap between Oakes and Mark Nelson is going to grow. Remember, those two were separated by 1 point coming into tonight. Kenny Passmore getting waved back to the lead lap. Jeff Oakes is back on pit road trying to get some more last-minute repairs done. Pace car is in. Out of turn 4, into the restart zone. Green flag flies. They're away one more time. Another stack up on the front straightaway, but everybody makes it clean through 1 and 2. Mark Nelson out front. Potgieter in 2nd. Thanos in 3rd. White flag flies one more time around for the Mark Nelson. It has been a wild, wild race for Mark here tonight, but when it came down to the last few laps, he manages to pull it off. Out of turn 4, Mark Nelson wins at Martinsville. Rod Podgeter has an impressive run to second place. Gerald Thanos Poole holds on to third. Tim St. Jean comes back for fourth. Jerry Bergeron fifth. And James Lacey has that quietly impressive run up 9 spots into seventh. Let's talk to our top three, starting with Gerald Thanos Poole. Well, Gerald, that was definitely a wild night for you, buddy.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, actually. I kind of surprised myself in qualifying, and, I don't know what it is. I'm running a little bit slower in the practice sessions, and then all of a sudden I'm really quick in qualifying. But, you get up there, you're able to hang on to things. And, that one spin that took front, I touched a little bit, got 2X, but didn't really feel to affect the car. And, man, I was just happy to get this number 9 Flaming Karma Racing Navy Joe Chevrolet Camaro onto the podium tonight.
Well, man, it was a great job, a great fight tonight for sure. And congratulations, man. Long overdue.
Thank you, man. We'll catch you later.
Gerald Poole coming home in third. Does not look like Rod is available at the moment, so let's talk to our winner. The Mark Nelson comes home with the win and the biggest fan club tonight.
Oh, that's good to hear. That was a nerve-wracking race, man. I got to tell you about it later. That did not start out well.
It looked a little bit rough on the restarts. You were really struggling.
Yeah, so somehow I think 2 setups got into the sim somehow, and the setup I qualified and practiced on wasn't the one that was under the car when I started the race. And let's just say it caught me a little off guard.
Well, it definitely appeared to, but you adjusted to it rather quickly, and man, you stayed in the fight and managed to fight your way back up there. And on that last pit stop, it looks like you took right sides only.
Yeah, I saw Derek do that the previous caution, and I was like, he's going to do that again. I'm going to outsmart him. And then he did the opposite again. And I was like, all right, well, it is what it is now.
Well, it paid off, man. Yeah, when it came down to it, you got all the restarts right. You did everything right, and you pulled off a great win. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, Doug. This one feels good.
Well, hopefully you have just as much luck trucking here shortly.
All right, we'll do.
Don't forget your dad jokes.
Okay.
All right. Does not look like Rod Podgeter is available. Congratulations to him on coming home in second. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. We will be back very, very shortly with the HTSAI Community Convoy. All you truckers out there, you want to hop in and join us, you're more than welcome. We'll see you shortly. Have a great night, folks.